Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Novik Profile. I, uh, I was recording. I was doing deck profile, and then I realized I wasn't recording. So, here I go again, explaining this all over again. So, Skull Servants is almost Halloween, and I wanted to do a profile on a deck that's spooky, and a deck that's really is fun. It's easy to play. It's somehow it could be budget if you just get low rarity of things. It's really fun deck. It can combo or it can brain dead, just punch people to death. It's your choice. You can do both. It's really cool deck, and I just wanna, for those that have ever wanted to play this or are interested, I'll give a very one-liner explanations of cards if you've never seen them before, and so you get the gist of what the deck's supposed to do. Because the deck basically just makes like a few negates, a few interruptions going first. Going second is better because you can play cards like Lightning Storm or cards that are going second cards and just punch people to death. But this is kind of like a going first deck. Going second is really easy. All you have to do is just swap up some of the cards here that I'll tell you to swap for like going second stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and quick. Just a one sentence, one little few word explanations for some of the cards if you've never seen before. This is a baby boy of the deck. Yeah, I mean I got those ultras for cheap before they became expensive because I had this deck for a while. So we gotta play 3 of Skull Servants because one of our cards basically forces us to play 3 of everything because we have to loop it over and over. This came in Blazing Vortex, as some people may know. White Baking is a newer card that says that it can protect your Skull Servant from destruction by discarding it, and if this card goes to the graveyard, you can add 2 cards that say Skull Servant. So you basically search any 2 Skull Servant cards because they all count as Skull Servants in the field and the graveyard. In the graveyard, I'm sorry. So that's what he does, and immediately you discard 1 card. Now you're always going to search with this card Prince. White Mare Prince. When Prince goes to the graveyard, send a Skull Servant and Lady in White to the graveyard. And then you have the option to banish him and any 2 Skull Servants to special a King of Skull Servants. So the point of Prince is to loop him multiple times and summon all the kings to make like a Pelosa, a Saruja, or to make a bunch of links, to make some type of disruption. The other card that you're always going to search 90% of the time is White Mare. And what White Mare does, he can discard them to either return a White Mare or Skull Servant that is banished back to the graveyard, or special summon a King of Skull Servant or Lady in White to the field that is banished. Speaking of, here is the king himself, King of the Skull Servants. He's like a badass card, to be honest. He can get huge, 13,000, 12,000, 6,000 attack, and yeah, if he's destroyed by battle somehow, he comes back. Next is the next best option in case that we can get to Prince or White Baking. White Princess is the next best option because on summon she Foolish Burials Prince, which is not the best, but I mean it's like alright. And this is like honestly the worst card to draw, and it's the Lady in White. The Lady in White, I mean she's level 3. She has a big defense, but her effect is kind of like protective. Doesn't really synergize well. I mean it's okay. But even if you drop multiples of this, it's like alright because we're playing Link Spider. But that's like unfortunately. And ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see a Skull Servant deck profile, I guarantee you that they're gonna play 3 of all the Skull Servants because you have to. If you play like 2 of him or 2, it's just wrong. It will make your deck worse. You have to play how it with all the Skull Servants at 3 because Prince. We have to loop Prince, so that forces us to play 3 of that. And because Prince is the center of the deck, and we need to get to Prince as fast as possible, we have to play 3 Baking to access Prince, 3 White Mare to access Prince, and 3 King of Skull Servants because Prince specials him. At the same time, because Prince is the most important card in the deck, if we don't have access to this, we have that card over there to get access to this. So as you can see, Prince is basically the heart and soul of this deck. And because of Prince, it forces us to play 3 of everything. And that's just how it's always going to be, unless they make like a link that replaces the job of Prince, and maybe the ratios might be different, but those 21 cards are always going to be the same, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this could be a 2-off if you choose to, and you could add something else. Uni-Zombie, because discard card from your hand, target a monster on the field, increases level. Also does this card again for the... hold on, I'm sorry. I don't remember if... I know it locks into zombies. Oh, no. Yeah, the other one, just Foolish Burials. So, discard card from your hand, increase the level. Also, Foolish Burial from your deck to increase the level. So, he level manipulates, he's a tuner. And other than that, I mean, kind of makes me want to play Plague Player Zombie. And what's that card called? Hockey Hyrax. But maybe that's something I'll experiment in the future. But this could be a 2-off if you wanted to. This card can also be a 2-off if you wanted to. Mizuki is just basically to revive the Prince and loop Prince again. That's really his job. Gosuki is optional. I like Gosuki because sometimes, yeah, like your hand is weird and you need like a card that's in your hand to be on the field to link it off. So Gosuki is optional. So there's 3 cards in there. They're optional. 1, 2, 3. But I like it like this. Next, that is basically it for the zombies. Now we're gonna play some cards that can fix like really bad hands. We're playing Dangers. 2 Danger Nessie, 1 Mothman, 1 Snake, and 1 Jackalope. If you know how the Dangers work, reveal it, shuffle your hand, they choose a card from your hand. If they choose the wrong card to discard, you special this, draw a card, and then if they actually discard it, if they get discarded, each one of them have its individual effect. This searches another danger. This does Dogward Dealings. This just specials himself regardless, and that specials from the deck. And we're playing this instead of Allure of Darkness or Perform a Popper Up, or basically like any other draw card, because we are forced to... We're playing Dragoon, and I know it sounds weird, but it's just like you could take out Dragoon out and then add more draw cards, but you need these ones because these special themselves, discard cards, and helps us make Dragoon. And I know it sounds like a little strange because you could draw one of the dangers with the Dragoon cards, but it's even worse with the Lure of Darkness or another draw card. Speaking of the Dragoon package, you don't have to play this if you don't want to. Make those hand traps, or you could add more dangers, more extenders, Allure of Darkness. You could add going second cards, but since this is a going first version, you could just play more extenders and do like an Apollosa, IP Masquerena pass or something. But this is just so much better. Like, it's just more impactful, more difficult to approach. It's just a better option. Especially because sometimes we get hand trapped or our hands are very strange, and the best we can do is this. Hey, I'm being honest, this deck is not like, meta, so but we're trying our best. This could be a 2-off. I like it at 3. Maybe it's like my own bias, my own personal experience, but I personally like to play that card at 3. And then 1 Foolish Burial, 1 for 1, and triple Ash Blossoms. As hand traps are important, and as I mentioned earlier, some of the cards were optional to play at 2 or 3, so you could take one out, add a hand trap, add an extender, or add a going second card, add a draw card. It's up to you. I mean, come on, this deck is not meta. So now let's go on to the extra deck. We're playing one Link Kuriboh because this is a level 1 deck. Almiraj, Relinquish Anima. These are basically to, if you summon Prince, link them away, get Prince effect, and they have effects themselves. Link Spider, as I stated earlier, in case we draw dog shit, and we need to like summon the two vanillas. IP Masquerena, quick effect, link summon, and the link summon becomes like indestructible or something. I forgot the can I be destroyed by opponent with card effects? Yeah. Phoenix, Unicorn, Nightmares. Google what they do. You should know by now. Curious. It's easy to make this in this deck. Basically, even though everything is zombie, they're link ones, and the dangers are different types, and blah blah blah. Saruja. Link the Apollosa. For these two, for those that don't know, Skuldred, draw 4 cards. If you made him with 4 link materials, draw 4 cards, return 3. Also has another effect where it's, how you say, special summons a monster to summon it points to. Also has another effect where it increases the attack of whoever he's linked to 300, I believe. Yes, it does that. So those are the effects of Skuldred. And then this, if you make them with 4 link materials, she gains 800 for each material. If you make them with 3, then she gains 800 times 3, and so forth. But if we can't do Dragoon, sometimes we actually draw the nuts, and you can make like Apollosa plus Dragoon, and that's pretty much like game against a lot of stuff. Verte Anaconda with the Dragoon, King of Games, the best extra deck monster in the game right now. For those that have played this deck in the past will know Leviair comes up because White Princess, Lady in White, and Unizombie are level 3s, and sometimes we can recycle some stuff with Leviair. So that's why he's there. And for my last 2 options, I have 2 Synchros. Black Rose, because in some testing it came up where like Black Rose would have been like a good card to be in the extra deck. And aside from Omega, because for interruption, and because he also does a similar thing to Leviair, where he recycles back some of the cards that are being banished. And that's pretty much it for the deck, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, it's a fun deck. It's spooky. It's not exactly like hard. Once you understand like the key plays, you'll see that this deck is not that hard to learn, and it is fun. There's something hilarious about the little skeleton dudes punching people to death. But anyways, that's gonna be for this deck profile. I hope that for those that seen it were wondering how to play it, or want to learn how, this could be a good guideline, which is really simple. Just buy 3 of everything and read the cards, and they're pretty self-explanatory. The links, do remember, because those links do matter. You need a lot of links that you need to link off. Other than that, a lot of deck profiles you'll see of this deck are going to be pretty identical to each other. And going second version of this is pretty much take out some of the going first extenders, add lightning storms, add a bunch of going second powerhouses, and punch people. But well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all those 14 subscribers. I appreciate my fans. Thank you for watching. See you later.